why I think this is a must-watch movie is purely because, okay guys, I just got done watching F1 the movie. FYI, I had no idea what F1 really was, like, about, essentially, before going into this movie. I had no knowledge, like, of F1 at all. Like, my only understanding of the whole thing is there's hard, medium, and soft tires. And till now, I still don't get really what they're used for. But basically, from that perspective, I thought it was an insanely good movie, for so many reasons. But let's get started. So I think my first amazing reason to like watch this movie is the cinematography was just on point. Like, dude, I was sat there, just looking at the cinema, and I was like, the moving pictures, and I was just like in awe, man. I was like, wow, like tech is really damn good. That's one, right? And not only that, in my opinion, one of the best things about this movie as well is the fact that like it's not just a racing movie, right? It's like kind of like Brad Pitt. It's more about him, and it's more about like him fighting his demons, right? Him like fighting his, self-esteem issues, and like him getting through all that stuff, and him thinking that he's a failure essentially, and like he's chasing that high that he once had, and throughout the movie he's like, not really believing in himself, but then believing in himself and like doubling down. And it's just like a battle that, you can kind of get the gist of like what's happening inside of his head. And I loved that because it made the audience so invested into the plot. So for someone who doesn't really quite understand what's going on racing wise, like me, I was just looking at the fight, of him, an athlete within himself, right? Because you can translate that to all other sports and everything in life, essentially. So that was very interesting. It made me on the edge of my seat, just sat there like so interested. So that was an amazing thing about the movie. And also, what I really loved about the movie was the relationship that developed between Joshua and Sunny. I don't want to spoil too much, but it was kind of clear from the get-go that they were both very similar, and that's why they didn't like each other. And obviously towards the end of the movie, they started, bonding and stuff. But that leads me into something that I really wanted to see a bit. It's like, I thought that it was a bit rushed, the friendship that got built up during the end. I just kind of wanted to see a bit more, like back and forth between them. But that's just me. But yeah, so that's something. And also just another thing that I would have loved probably seeing a bit more was something like, you guys know, like, in Rocky, I don't want to spoil too much, but like in Rocky, for example, he's always motivated by something that's so important. So for example, Creed dying, that motivated Rocky. It got personal for Rocky to defeat the Russian guy because he killed his boy, he killed his friend. I'm not saying something like that, but just something to raise the stakes, I think was needed for F1 at least. Because I felt like the stakes were high, like he was trying to win a championship, but I really wanted it to be a bit more personal. That's something that I will say is kind of missing from F1, or maybe I missed it, but I don't think I did. So yeah, just let me know if you guys disagree in the comments. But yeah, so that's my main criticism towards this movie, to be honest. And yeah, basically the rest of it was amazing. The cinematography, like I said, was amazing. And my favorite thing, and why I think this is a must-watch movie, is purely because of the fact that we kind of get to see a battle of an athlete within himself. Like, he's an old guy, he's not young, and he's trying his best to like just do it one last time, just push himself that extra mile to accomplish everything that he's ever wanted. And I'm not going to say what happens, but watch to find out, because I think it was handled really, really nicely and relatively realistically. I mean, I'm not an F1 driver, but it kind of looked realistic, so I guess it kind of worked, whatever they done. Leave what you guys think of the movie if you've watched it. If you haven't, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.